How worry lost everything. Stories about fear and anxiety. Motivational story. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, there lived a creature named Worry. No one really knew where he came from, only that he always followed people around silently. Worry wasn't big or frightening in appearance, but he had a way of making people feel heavy, anxious, and restless. Whenever someone was nervous about an exam, a job, or an uncertain future, Worry had already arrived, whispering doubts into their hearts. At first, people welcomed Worry. They believed he was there to help them prepare better, to be cautious, to avoid mistakes. "Don't forget to prepare more," he whispered to students before exams. "Think of the worst-case scenario," he murmured to business owners. Over time, people didn't make any decisions without consulting Worry. He became an inseparable part of their lives, a silent advisor they never questioned. When Worry saw how much people depended on him, he changed. He no longer whispered. He screamed. He stopped advising and started planting fear. The brave became hesitant. Decisions turned into delays. People no longer dared to love, to try, or to truly live, just because they feared failing. And Worry laughed louder each day, feeding off their fear, growing stronger. In that same village lived a girl named Hope. Unlike everyone else, Hope didn't listen to Worry. When he told her not to enter the creative contest because she might lose, she entered anyway. When he warned her not to travel because it was risky, she packed her bags and went. Worry screamed, "You'll fail. You'll be laughed at. You'll lose everything." But Hope smiled gently and replied, "If I don't try, I'll lose myself." One day, Hope organized a gathering in the village square. She invited people to share the things they had always wanted to do, but never dared. At first, the crowd was silent. Then, an old man shakily confessed he'd always wanted to learn the piano. A young mother admitted she dreamed of opening a bakery. One by one, villagers stood up and spoke, while Worry shrank in the corner. For the first time, no one was listening to him. The villagers began to take action. They started doing the very things they used to only dream about. They wrote books, painted pictures, opened shops, traveled, and loved again. Worry was still around, of course, but now his voice was faint. No one gave him the power he once had. Whenever he spoke, someone would calmly say, "That's just fear talking. It's not the truth." And with that, he was pushed back again and again. Eventually, Worry had no one left to cling to. He wandered the village, looking for a fearful heart to settle in. But people had learned to face him. They had learned to breathe, to believe, and to act despite his presence. Hope had planted something inside them, faith. And when faith grew strong, Worry faded, like morning mist under the sun. He simply had nowhere left to exist. Worry never truly died. He waits in the shadows. But ever since that time, the villagers reminded each other, fear is natural, but never let it drive your life. They taught their children that anxiety may visit, but it's action, belief, and hope that take us forward. In the center of the village still stands a small statue named Hope, a daily reminder that where hope lives, fear cannot rule. Thank you for listening.